everyone, so today I'm here with Ask Kirsten number 25. I have not done a Q&A video in a while and I figured it was time I did one. So I'm on Ask Kirsten number 24 on my phone and I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. If you hear Avery in the background, I'm not going to tell her to be quiet. She's a baby, so I'm just going to let her scream it out if she has to. No, I definitely won't let her scream it out. But she's about to fall asleep, so hopefully she falls asleep. Sabrina Faith, this has 2 thumbs up. She said, you said you have thought about quitting vlogs. I love watching your vlogs and seeing your daily life. Do you feel it's hard to put yourself out on the internet so much? Yes and no. When I originally started making YouTube videos, I only had this channel and I did like specifically like beauty videos and I never really incorporated like lifestyle videos in, like Q&As and things like that for a little bit, but then once I did, I enjoyed it and I enjoyed sharing my life. So when Brian and I decided to start daily vlogging, and we've been daily vlogging for like 3.5 years, almost 3 years now, it's been really fun and I feel like we don't put out as much as people think we do. Like we do like show our daily lives and we do talk about like things like that, but there is a lot of stuff that we don't put out there. So I feel like in some ways it is hard because, you know, you have to film every single day. You know, you have to keep up with filming, you have to keep up with editing and uploading. I was in charge of the whole editing and uploading for 2 years and Brian's been doing it for the past like few months, and I know it's been like really straining because it is hard to edit and get those up every single day. But I don't feel, sometimes I feel like it might be, I don't know how to explain this. Sometimes I felt like quitting because I get very like agitated, or not agitated, but I guess the best word for that is annoyed easily. Some of the comments are like, well, why don't you do this instead of that, or why can't you do this? Like, I do this, you should do this. And it's those types of comments that I'm like, but you don't understand, you know? It's like there's certain reasons that we do things the way we do, and we're also learning as we go. You know, you're always constantly learning as a human being. You are constantly learning and making mistakes, and you know, sometimes it sucks to have that be on camera and to be shown to the world, but at the end of the day, it's like I can look back and be like, yeah, I made that mistake, but I got past it. So a couple of times I have thought about quitting just because of people commenting, and I get like agitated with the comments, and because it is like a strain. But I like to keep up with it as much as we can. I know we haven't been daily vlogging a lot recently. We're trying to get back into it, but it has been harder. I've been able to vlog and stuff, but I work full-time and I go to school full-time, plus I have Ave, but I don't mind showing her. But it's all about the uploading process now, so that's basically the only reasons. I think I've answered this before from El Malik. What were your and Brian's parents' reactions to you getting pregnant so young? They were both happy. Pi2 says, how often are you recognized as being a YouTuber, and do you tell your new acquaintances that you have a channel, or do you just want viewers discovering your stuff on their own? I don't get recognized too often. When we lived in California, I got recognized the most. I would say about like 4 or 5 times, and that was mostly when I was at work at Sephora, and that was really fun. We've gotten recognized once here in Austin, and we were in a Target parking lot, and I thought that was really cool as well, but it's not really that often. And it's cool. It's a really cool experience. I love meeting you guys. I think it's just like the coolest thing ever. And it's like awkward. Like I feel like we should like go hang out. Like they're just like, oh hey, like, and they're like, hey, can we get a picture? And then, you know, like talk for a couple minutes, and I'm like, do you want to go like do something? Like I feel so awkward, but it's always fun. And when I meet new people, I never really tell them I have a channel. It's always something that's been like stumbled upon. Like someone will be like, hey, you make YouTube videos, or like we'll be hanging out. Like this is an example. So when I first started working at Sephora, this was before I actually started working at the store. So we were in like the training process of opening our store, and it was like day 4 and I hadn't told anybody because I don't usually tell people like straight off the bat like, hey, I make YouTube videos. I just don't. And one of the girls came up to me and she was like, hey, I think I saw you on YouTube. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do. I do make YouTube videos. And like she sat by me the whole day and we like talked about it all day. And then, you know, by the end of the day, everybody knew. So it happens kind of like that, but I don't just straight up be like, hey, I'm Kirsten, I make YouTube videos, nice to meet you. I just feel like it's something that's like a hobby of mine that I love to share with people. But I don't like straight up be like, hey, I make YouTube videos, watch me. X3 says, does Brian have a source of income, and is it expensive to live in Texas, the apartments? Yes, Brian does have a source of income. Where we live in Austin, which is, I think, a little bit more pricey. It is the capital, and we kind of live in a more like luxury area. So where we live, it's a little bit pricey, but I know you can find places that are cheaper in Austin, depending on what you're looking for. But I have heard that Texas is cheap as a whole to live in, which is awesome. Emily May says, when you and Brian first started dating, how long did you think you'd date for? Did you picture this as your future and think you'd come this far? We started dating when I was a sophomore, so obviously I didn't have like expectations that we were going to get married and have children and be together for the rest of our lives. Once we started dating and we dated for about a year, I was definitely like, I could see us lasting for a long time, but it took us to get to that year point because like when you're in high school, I feel like relationships aren't like as, I don't know the correct word for it, but they're not as like stable as you are when you're an adult and you start a relationship. So I think as an adult starting a relationship, you're looking to find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. But when you're dating someone in high school, you're not really looking for someone to spend the rest of your life with. Or maybe you are, but I wasn't. So it took me like a year, and after like we had been together a year, I was like, oh, we could do this for another year. And then after, you know, our second year, I'm like, oh, we could do this, you know, forever. And that's really what happened. Denise Lazo said, have y'all tried Whataburger yet? We have not. There is one like right down the street. We just haven't tried it yet. We've been trying so much food though. It's ridiculous. Jay Carey says, which state would you move to and call it a permanent home if you ever decide to move somewhere permanently? I think we could call Texas a permanent home. Anywhere other than Texas, I definitely think I want to like retire and live on the beach somewhere, but definitely I like Texas. Basketball Girl says, has Avery brought you and Brian closer to each other? I think so, in a sense. It definitely has brought out different like aspects of each other that we have not like experienced yet, because becoming a parent, definitely you have more things that like happen, but I think it has brought us closer together. Actually, in her makeup says, what's your favorite date that you've gone on with Brian? Our last date when we went to the Oasis on Lake Travis and we got engaged. Sparkly Gymnast says, what is your dream vacation? I really want to go on a cruise. We've been talking about going on a cruise for such a long time now, and it's something I wanted to do, to go to like the Caribbean, or not the Caribbean, to go to like the Bahamas. I've always wanted to do that, and I know Brian's dream vacation is like Bora Bora, and I would do that too in a heartbeat. Vanessa M says, do you see yourself being married to Brian within the next 3 years? If not, how many years? Well, now that we are engaged, I'm not starting the wedding planning process until after Avery's first birthday in February. I just want to get all of like the holidays and her first birthday out of the way before I actually sit down and start planning, because I want to be able to commit a lot of time to planning. I mean, I already have kind of like an idea of what we want, but I want to be able to commit time to it. So I don't know. I know we're going to have a longer engagement. We were thinking 2 years, but it might be a little bit longer than that because we do want, you know, like a nice wedding. This is going to be like our only wedding, or at least it's going to be my only wedding. So I want it to be like what I want it to be. So it might be a little bit, but I definitely think 2 to 3 years is our max to be engaged. Jennifer Holt says, what's the best movie you've seen recently? Inside Out. Oh my god, I love that movie. It's so cute. Santa's bringing that for Christmas to Avery. I got this question a couple of times on this video. This one's from Megan C. She says, what is one of the main things you regret in your high school? Any advice for people going out of high school? And what is one thing you could go back and alter in your life that has happened? One of the main things I guess I regret in high school, and this is like probably something that you guys like don't even care about, you wanted probably something like super juicy, is I regret dropping pre-calc my junior year. I wish I would have pushed through it, although I would have significantly dropped my GPA by pushing through it. I wish I would have, because I am currently taking a math class in college right now, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm hoping for the best, and it's not going that well. So I wish I would have pushed through it, and I know you guys probably wanted something like super juicy, but that's really it, honestly. Any advice for people going out of high school? Well, most people that go out of high school immediately go into college, and I did not do that. I kind of did my own thing. So for those of you that are doing your own thing, hope for the best, push forward, get a job. I don't know, just push forward. Honestly, you can do it. Honestly, you can do it. What is one thing you could go back and alter in your life that has happened? I thought about this question a lot, because I do have like a few regrets in my life, but at the end of the day, I don't really want to alter anything, because I don't want to go back and like fix something, because if I do, then I potentially couldn't be at the position I'm at now. You know, I couldn't be a mom, or I couldn't be with Brian, and I don't want to jeopardize the position I'm in now, because I'm really happy. Caitlin Lindsay says, what is your earliest memory as a kid? This is a really good question. The earliest thing I can remember, and I have two, so I don't know where they overlap. I don't know where I was at these points, but my parents were still married. So it was definitely before I was 3 because they got divorced when I was 3. So one of them is I was walking into my room, and I don't know if I like hallucinated this or made these up because I have never heard anyone talk about these, and I feel like I dreamt it. I walked into my room and I had those, you know when you used to buy, or maybe you didn't, I don't know, the Disney VHSs, they would have like little Disney VHS containers that you opened it up and it had like a Disney figurine in it. If I hallucinated this, I'm gonna sound crazy, or I dreamt it or something, but I remember like walking into my room and like playing with like an Aladdin one. So that's an early one. And then I also remember playing out in a field with my dad, one of those like, not Barbies, I don't remember what they're called, but you would like wind them up and they would like spin in the air and do little flips and stuff. Not flips and stuff, but they would just spin up in the air like helicopters. I remember playing with one of those too. That's the earliest memories I have. Natalie says, before having Avery, did you and Brian want a boy or girl first? We wanted a girl. We really wanted a girl. Whitney Star 23 says, do you still think you will make videos for YouTube even when Avery is a teenager? That is 13 years from now, and I don't even know if YouTube or the internet will, I mean, I'm sure the internet maybe will still be around by then. I feel like maybe I would still be making videos, but they would probably be along the lines of like other things. Like I feel like I would be making like different types of videos. I mean, I might still be doing like beauty, but I think it would be more lifestyle and like mom videos. Not like mommy videos, but like hardcore mom videos. Mackenzie Stalker says, do you ever get dirty looks from people if you take Avery out in public since you and Brian are young parents, and how do you deal with that? Yeah, we get dirty looks all the time. I also think it doesn't help that we both look significantly younger than we are. I feel like we both look very young, but yeah, we at least get one dirty look every time we're out. How do you deal with it? I mean, I usually get back in the car and like complain to Brian about like how I'm so irritated, but I don't like confront people because it's not my place to say anything. It's not their place to say anything. So I used to complain about it a lot. Now I'm just like, I just don't care. It's like not even worth it. Natasha Redmond says, sorry, this has already been answered. All good. I'm a new subscriber. Do you plan on having any more kids? If so, how many? Yeah, I would love to have more kids. I'm thinking at least one more. We would like to try for a boy. But we do already have we have a boy name, another boy name, and another girl name picked out. So, I don't know, we might have a whole litter of kids by the time my life's over. We'll see. Kathia Rivera says, I know Avery is very young, but do you and Brian ever disagree on parenting techniques? Yeah, we disagree on a few of them, but we always compromise and come up with the best solution that benefits her the best, and I think that's the best way to do it. Compromise. Always compromise. Kelly Myers says, how did you and Andrea meet? Also, what do you do when working for SPC, such as printing, packaging, etc.? Andrea and I actually met through YouTube a few years ago. We met through YouTube, we messaged each other a lot, we did a collaboration, and then we started texting, and we texted like every single day until I moved here. And what do I do for SPC? Okay, so in order to explain what I do, I have to like get comfortable for this. In order to explain what I do, you have to understand like the sticker making process. So in order to understand that, I'll explain it. So the stickers are designed and then they are printed. They're sent to a printer and the printer prints it. You take it off the printer, you put it through a Silhouette Cameo machine, and the machine cuts it like in circles or the design or whatever. I don't have a sticker sheet in here to show you, but it cuts into squares, whatever. You pull it off and you hand slice it, and then it gets packaged up and sent to the person that bought it. So what I do is I run 10 printers. I have 10 printers that are constantly running, and I am constantly sending thousands upon thousands of sheets to them, and that's fun. I actually like working with printers. Printers is fun. And then while I'm letting the printers run, I run these Silhouette machines. I run 6 of the Silhouette machines, and I cut the stickers, and I also hand slice them. So printers, Silhouette machines, hand slicing. All day, 8 hours. It's pretty rough. There's a lot that happens, but I don't mind it. It's like literally the easiest job ever. It's like mindless work. So, I mean, I'm just constantly like watching Netflix and just kind of like doing stuff. So, that's what I do. Katie Ahrens says, I have a daughter who's 10 months old and I'm a stay-at-home mom and worry about her never seeing babies her age. Do you think it's important to expose her to other children? Is Avery exposed to other babies? I do think it's important for babies and young children to be exposed to other babies and young children. Avery is exposed. She has been exposed to another baby. She has a best friend named Catalina. So she has been around babies. She's also been around a 5-year-old. And I think it's important because you have to let them kind of interact and learn. Avery gets really excited when she sees other kids. She like screams at them and like wants them to talk to her. So she's exposed to children, but I definitely think she needs like a good like little baby friend that lives with her. Not lives with her, but lives near her because Catalina lives in North Carolina. So I'm hoping they can hang out soon because Avery needs her best friend. Tracy Grissom says, how many states have you been to? I'm going to count been to as actually like stayed in because I've driven through a lot of states, but like actually like physically stayed in. So I'm gonna count 16. I've been to 16 states. Alexandria Descova says, which hair dye brand worked the best for you and do you use the same one all the time or what? I don't color my hair anymore. Well, I still color my hair, but I don't do it myself. I have my friend Tara do it for me, who is a hairstylist, and she uses the Wella brand. And then the last question that I have is from Emily Kelleher. I'm sorry if I like stuttered. It says, would you ever consider moving back to California? We've considered it. I mean, we haven't considered it, but we've actually like thought about it, but it's definitely not going to be a possibility for us. We would love to go back to California. We loved it there and we had a great experience there, but it's just not someplace we could live, especially not in the area that we lived. We lived in Orange County and that is where we would want to be, especially Huntington Beach. I've always wanted to like live at Huntington Beach, but it's just really pricey. It's very expensive, and now that we have Avery, we have to like think about her and what would be best for her, and I think settling somewhere that's a little bit more like suburban and a little bit more calm is something that we want. I'm sorry, this hair is like irritating me. So we've thought about it, but we'll definitely visit. We love California and I still have friends there, so yeah, I don't think we'll ever move back though. That is it for Ask Kirsten number 25. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below and I will answer them in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and subscribe to me if you are not already, and I will see you guys in my next video.